Just doing some testing of my switching. So this trigger here is triggering my switch for my spark gap switch, and the 24 volts going through the coil is being triggered by my spark gap switch, which is, this is the one I use for the last 8 years. It will outlast any MOSFET, any BJT or whatever, SSR, anything like that. It will outlast them by far. So I got it going now, and I'm just kind of playing with the coil position, seeing where I can go here. This friggin' one wire here for my trigger is kind of malfunctioning. And I got the coil almost a half inch away, probably about a half inch away from the coil. Now it's about 3/4 of an inch away. Everybody likes to jam it close. That's the biggest mistake. Get it further away, because if you got a metal core, it's now attracting to your magnet. Okay? So you want to back it off. You can change the angle of attack. And it works just fine. It's running great. Now, I'm going to shut it off here. So now, this is just triggering. Now, you also got the magnet here, which is flopping. It's actually pushing the wheel, like the Howard Johnson motor. So it's actually making that wheel spin easier. It's giving less resistance. See, look, it's still going. And that little push by the magnet is creating a pushing force on that wheel. Well, the quarter wave discoveries is basically, it's the third coil on the Tesla coil. So you got your primary, which is usually about 2 turns, okay? Your secondary is the one that has 400,000 or 500,000 turns. And then, if you say you got 1,000 turns, you take 1/4 of that and make a third coil that goes over the top. Now that coil there, you could either keep at the same gauge wire, which a lot of people recommend, but I've seen guys use way thicker wire for the quarter wave. And this will pick up a huge frequency gain, because when you got a sine wave, it's going up and down, where you get the center line, the center line, it catches the wave on the quarter of the wave. It doesn't go below that line. It's catching that top spike, not the bottom spike. That's what the third coil does on a Tesla coil. But anyways, that's another story. So I'm just kind of experimenting. I bought some more magnets. I got those in. Pissed me off because the magnets are in the opposite pole for the whole setup. So now when I set up a motor, I have to flip it. It's a pain in the ass. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm just kind of playing around with this. So I'll fire it up again. I'm going to put it, as you can see, I got it quite far away. See how far away it is? It's about a ½ inch. It's not crammed in there. Okay, so I'll give it a good spin. Just give it some momentum there. And it's at least a ½ inch distance between the coil and the rotating magnets. Now, some people like going air core. That's fine too. That actually helps you out even more. But if you're going to have a metal core, you got to keep it at least a ½ inch to 3/4 inch away from your magnet. And if you those spinning magnets, they're N52s, that even more so, because it creates a bigger, longer field coming out of the magnet. You don't want to cog the wheel down. So yeah, she's running good, and I'm using the spark gap switch. And this is just triggering the switch. So it's 12 volts, one side of this battery triggering the switch, 24 volts going through the spark gap of this switch. And she's running great. Now I should actually have a ballast on this. I don't have a ballast on it. So I only run it for a short period of time, so I don't do any damage to my batteries. But you kind of get the idea. So I'll just let this wind down on its own. And I'm getting about 4 to 600 RPM out of it if I really push it. But most of my Renegades, I like to run 50 volts. I'm only running half of what I normally run in voltage. And I can put 50 volts through that spark gap switch. So here's another look at it. That's the one I use. Yep. But such an easy device. Like, this is not hard tech. Hey, Gerald, how's it going? I hope you're going to come on tonight. But anyway, see how the magnet's pushing the wheel? See? It's actually assisting and pushing the wheel. Not only that, it's triggering my spark gap switch. See? So if I get it going again, I give it a little spin, put the juice on it. I'll give it a good spin. Start it up. Normally I accelerate more, but I'm only using 24 volts, so I'm using like half the power I normally use. But yeah, since you get it going, it's good. That's why these motors, guys, get away from the 12 volts. Start going 24, 48, 60 volts, 100 volts. Don't be afraid. Don't be a wuss. Now, a lot of people don't understand, too, when you use higher voltage, guess what? It takes less current to charge that friggin' coil. Newman, Joseph Newman, hello. Right? So, there you go. That's what I've been working on. As you can see, the weather is shit. It's been kind of raining, overcast. It's only like 13 degrees here. So, yeah. Hey guys, yep, so we'll be doing the live show tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. Hope everybody can join us for that show tonight. I don't know what is in the lineup for tonight. Last week, we had Vernon Roth on, and that was fucking awesome. So that was great. So, yeah, so I'm just going to mess around. Oh, I got some new piezos in, transducers. I got these in today, the disc ones. So I got to solder these guys up. I forgot I left my soldering iron at home. So I'm going to have to solder these piezo transducers. I got 2 of them. They were on sale. I got them for $8 Canadian on Amazon. Fucking great. So I also have this one here. These ones here, they use them in the ultrasonic cleaners. So you could use this one, or you can just use the disc ones. They're rated at 40 kilocycles or 40 kilohertz. 35 watts input. Hey, Brandon. Yeah, we'll see everybody tonight. Yeah, it's a little messy in here. I kind of have to clean up a little bit. I still got my pyramid project. I'm working on that. What else do I got going on? Yeah, I got shit everywhere. I got my batteries here. Oh, I tested my cells. I've let them sit for 6 months, and they're still working at full power, sitting, doing nothing for 6 months, and they're still working. So my batteries are proven a test of time. So I'll probably get about 5 to 10 years out of those power cells. Now I got another idea where basically I'm going to have a pulse motor. There's going to be no batteries. There's only going to be a reed switch and a coil. That's it. Nothing else. No batteries, no capacitors, nothing. Coil, reed switch, that's it. And I'll have a motor running. So that's kind of interesting too. So I'm working on the concept for that. So it's a self-powered coil. So basically it's a stubble field coil that will run a pulse motor. Yeah, Lulu will be here tonight too. Usually fashionably late. Yeah, there'll be no power input to this new device. The actual power unit will be the coil itself. It's self-powered. It'll be basically like a Stubblefield earth battery. So basically, the coil has its own power. It'll create its own magnetic field, so it's going to have a coil in it. It's going to have the earth battery type components in one package. That means all I will need to run it is the coil and a reed switch. Nothing else. No batteries, no capacitors, nothing. And that will run pretty much indefinitely. Now, if I put that even in a vacuum chamber where there's no wind resistance, the thing could, God knows how long it will run. Years. Years. So that's another idea I got on the table right now. I'm working on the designs in AutoCAD Fusion. I'm designing that coil, a self-powered coil. So it's based on the battery tech I've been working on, but it's going to be actually a coil, battery coil, hybrid. So yeah, interesting stuff. So I'm not going to bore you guys. It's probably, what time is it now? It's after 11. I'll probably be here till about 12. I'm going to go home, have some lunch. Then I'm going to pick up my daughter from school. And then, hey, Paul. And yeah, come home, get dinner ready, and get ready for tonight's live show at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. Just click on the live tab at the Faraday Research YouTube channel, and give me a thumbs up if you liked my live stream. I know it's kind of short. It's only got about 12 minutes going here, but I pretty much showed what I want to show. So I'm using this trigger with a magnet on it. It's actually working like a Howard Johnson. It's pushing the wheel. It's actually assisting in pushing the wheel, and it's also triggering my spark gap switch, which runs the coil and triggers everything. So I'll fire it up one more time before I sign off. So give it a good spin. And there we go. So this is the spark gap switch I've been using for 8 years. And it works quite well. So yeah, it's working really good. So the only thing this thing is doing is pushing the wheel forward and triggering my switch. And take note on the distance between the coil and the wheel. It's 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch distance away. Any closer, the magnet is going to start pulling on the core. You don't want that. You want to ride the field between the field of the magnet and the field of the coil that it's producing. You're riding the wave. That's what I call riding the wave. So that's pretty much it. Just connect it here. And that's what I've been working on today. So thanks a lot for joining me on the live stream. It's a short 15-minute live stream. Just kind of get everybody up to speed what I've been working on. And yeah, we'll see everybody tonight. Take care for now.